This is the Louie T Network.
Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. First comes the preseason, now I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing, that Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing, that Super Bowl ring. Yeah. We in the lab room.
Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. AFC Championship game. Indianapolis Colts, the 4 seed in the AFC Conference, on the road, taking on the number 1 seeded New England Patriots. Was it going to be Andrew Luck's time? Was the torch going to be passed to one Andrew Luck? Or was Tom Brady going to tell that young man to sit down and wait his turn? I already told you, I thought I knew the answer to that last week. And I was floored by the amount of responses by you, the viewers, who thought Indy actually had a chance to win this game. And even some of you who thought it would be a close game. I was very surprised. But you know what I said to myself? Lou, I said, self, you know better. You know better. You know better. You knew what that was. That was all New England Patriots hate. Okay? And I get it. As a fan, as a fellow fan like yourself, I get it. You get tired of seeing the same teams play for all the marbles. You get tired of seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl. You get tired of the evil empire striking back again. I know. You're tired of chewing the same stale gum. You wanted a new piece of gum. You wanted a new team in the Super Bowl. You wanted to see the Indianapolis Colts because you didn't want to see the Patriots win. I get it. But I'm here to tell you, put that pack of gum back on the shelf. That pack isn't ready. Colts team not ready for the prime time. And I could have told you this, and I wanted to tell you this last week when the Colts won. The minute the Indianapolis Colts beat the Denver Broncos, I already knew who the AFC participant in the Super Bowl was going to be. Because I knew this Colts team was not good enough to beat the New England Patriots. But I wasn't going to dare make that declaration at that point because it would not have been fair to the Indianapolis Colts fan base. They had just won. Let them celebrate and be jubilant over their victory that puts them in the AFC Championship game. Don't take their berth into the championship game away from them and steal their thunder by telling them they don't have a chance. Let them celebrate. Celebrate! Let them rejoice in their victory. And to the victors go the spoils. Let them enjoy that. And then on Thursday, rain on their parade and tell them they don't stand a chance on Sunday. Then you do that. And that's what I did. And so I was amazed at how many of you actually thought the Colts could win this game. And I said, didn't you watch the regular season when Tom and company went to Indy and beat those boys up? Did you not see when Tom and company beat those boys up last year? Did you not see when Tom and company beat those boys up 3 years ago when Andrew Luck was a rookie? Andrew Luck struggles with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. He's already beat Peyton Manning twice. Remember, he beat him last year in Indy. He beat him again this year. It's no surprise that they beat the Colts. The Broncos. I didn't think they were going to, but we know the formula there. Just out physical and get extremely physical with the Broncos. They're a soft football team. They won't win a game. And so we know the blueprint for that. It's a different story. And all of those Patriots teams that I just talked about beating Andrew Luck, the one in 2012 when he was rookie, the one last year in 2013, this team is light years better than both of those squads. Andrew Luck and company did not stand a chance in this game. And so, to me, the outcome of this game, no surprise, no shock. As a matter of fact, the only thing that was surprising to me is how out of hand this game got and the little resistance that the Colts put up in this football game. That's what was shocking to me. Not the fact that they got blown out. The fact that I had to stop watching this game. I haven't stopped watching a postseason game, and I don't think I've ever quit on an NFL postseason game. Never. Ever. And I've seen some ass whoopings. Remember that Miami-Jacksonville ass whooping? Dan Marino's last game as a professional. What is it, 62-7 or something? I didn't even quit on that game. I quit on this game, man. I didn't have it in me. Not an AFC champion. That was a wild card weekend ass whooping there. I didn't have the stomach for an AFC championship ass whooping. Not after the thriller we had in the NFC to follow it up with this dud. That was pathetic. Let's jump into this quickly because, again, as you can see, I don't have a lot of patience for this. After an Indy 3-and-out, Julian Edelman, you know I love this guy. My favorite Patriot on their team. He does everything. What do you need? You need a punt return, you need a kickoff return. We need me to be in a slot, you need me to be out wide, you need me to go short, you need me to go long. You need me to throw a touchdown pass? Whatever you need, man, Julian Edelman. What you need, a speed option? You need a jet sweep? What you need, man? It's Julian Edelman. He can do it all, man. Love that guy. 21-yard punt return. But the Pats go 3-and-out. But that punt return changed the field position. Here's why this is big. They punt the football to Joshua Cribbs. And this is why they brought Joshua Cribbs onto their roster, for him to just do the little things. Like catch the football in inclement weather. We found out before the game started that the wind gusts in New England were going to be severe, going to be a very inclement weather game with a lot of rain. We saw that, and a lot of wind gusts. And look, if you're not sure, get out of the way. Don't catch the football. But he goes up, and he's a professional. I expect Cribbs to catch the football. He misjudges it, and maybe the wind got a hold of it right as he was trying to catch it. Either way, ball hits him in the face and bounces off his face mask. Patriots recover. Big mistake again. If you're the Colts, you're already the lesser team in this game. You're already fighting an uphill battle. You're on the road. You haven't beat Tom Brady in this bunch since Andrew Luck has been your quarterback. You can't make mistakes on the road in the postseason. That's a big one early. That muff turns into a 1-yard touchdown for LeGarrette Blount. The first of 3 in this game. 7 plays later, it's now 7-0. New England out on top. After an 11-play drive, puts Indy in striking distance. Boom! Heron drops a deep ball, beautifully thrown football over the outside shoulder of Boom Heron again. Andrew Luck can't throw it, catch it, and score touchdowns all by himself. Needs some help. Boom Heron needs to catch the football. Does not, again, he's not a receiver, but he's one heck of a receiving back. There's a difference. You saw it on this play. Beautifully placed football, outside shoulder. He doesn't get his hands over far enough. Ball skips off his hands, out of bounds. Huge play. Missed opportunity for the Colts. Then, because of the drop, they have to settle for a 51-yard Adam Vinatieri field goal. I just talked about the wind gust. This kick never stood a chance. Wind got a hold of it, pushed it far right, missed opportunity. That's not how you want to start a football game if you're Indianapolis. With the muff that gives the Patriots an opportunity to put a 7 on the board, and they did, and then a missed field goal. 51 yards. I'll talk about what missed field goals mean. They mean 3 things. A, you don't get points. That's huge. B, it changes the momentum of the game. You really can't weigh that, but it does. And 3, did I just use numbers and letters? I think I just did. And 3, you are giving up a huge amount of field position, especially when it's a far one like 51 yards. Patriots in business to start the second quarter. Off that miss, the Patriots get great field position, as I just mentioned. 30-yard Brady, Shane Vereen hookup. That's how you catch the ball as a running back. You catch the football like Shane Vereen does. That was an underthrow by Brady. And again, I don't know if it's the wind, because Brady had a couple of underthrows in this game, but Doesn't matter. Had another one to Edelman, wide open in the second half, over the middle of the field. If he leads him, it's a touchdown. If he hits him in stride, it's a walk-in touchdown. He underthrows it. Edelman has to fall down, catch it. Similar to what Vereen had to do on this play, to fall down, catch the football, just to make sure he can corral it and bring it in. But that catch for 30 sets up a 1-yard James Devlin touchdown. Fullback catches it. And they had a great opportunity of keeping him out of the end zone. DeQuell Jackson had a very prime opportunity and a kill shot to keep him out of the end zone. Misses. This is a big guy. James Devlin, not small by any stretch of the imagination. Bounces off of that tackle, finds his way into the end zone, and bulls his way into the end zone as the Patriots take a 14-0 lead. So right now, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, you're in the danger zone right now. You should not be alone. You need some points, and you need it in the worst way. Game-altering play. At the time, this felt like a game-altering play, much like last week. If memory serves me correct, Brady did the exact same thing last week. Okay, so DeQuell Jackson, free agent pickup from Cleveland to this Indy team, who has been stellar for them all season long, is underneath on a Gronk seam route. Brady tries to fit it in, and really, he's expecting DeQuell Jackson to not get his head around. If he doesn't get his head around, maybe he can squeeze it in there. He's being greedy because, again, they had a man over the top. They had Jackson underneath. They had Gronk bracketed. This should not have been thrown. But again, if I see your numbers, that means the receiver's open. Brady throws it, hoping that DeQuell Jackson doesn't. He's a wily veteran. He turns around, locates the ball, and picks it off. Great play by him. Remember, last week, Brady did the exact same thing right before the half. Patriots, all the momentum in the world after trailing 14-0 against Baltimore, run off 14 unanswered points, have the ball moving in Ravens territory with a chance to take the lead before the half. Brady tries to fit it to Gronk over the middle on a seam route. It is picked off by Darryl Smith. Exact same thing happens in this game. Except the only difference was last week Baltimore took that football, scored a touchdown right before the half, got the football back after the half, scored another touchdown, and went back up by 14 points. Colts do something similar here, but don't get the exact same results out of the ordeal, as that interception allows the Colts to finally get a little bit of momentum, get their feet planted in this game, and embark on a 10-play, 93-yard drive that includes 2 huge penalties on the Patriots. The first of which was a backbreaker. Vince Wilfork called for personal foul on a play that would have resulted in a 3rd and 6 attempt from about the 16-yard line, I mean deep in their own territory, maybe even 11. And by having that personal foul penalty, not only do you give them field position, give them an automatic first down. And so they move the football later on in the drive. Jamie Collins also flagged for illegal contact, which is another automatic first down. Colts take advantage. What a beautiful throw by Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It seems like every week we get one of these from Andrew Luck where he just drops the football into the tightest of spaces with the most soft and feathery touch you've ever seen. Just with the gas! I mean, you can't put it in the bucket any better than he did to T.Y. Hilton. And there was a defender right there swinging at the ball right over his fingertips into the waiting arms of T.Y. Hilton, who did a magnificent job of getting 2 feet down inbounds. And so they ended up getting all the way down the field and getting in the end zone on a 1-yard tipped and touchdown to cut the lead in half at 14-7. Patriots embark on a 15-play drive that yields 65 yards but does not get in the end zone. They have to settle for a field goal, which makes it 17-7 at the half. So Patriots do respond to the Colts touchdown, but only with a field goal. If you're the Colts, it could be a lot worse. You've made a lot of mistakes in this first half, including the fumble by your punt returner, Joshua Cribbs, that led to a touchdown. You haven't taken advantage of some opportunities offensively, had some drop passes. Luck has been errant in the first half. Despite all of those mistakes, you're right here. You know, the drop by your running back out of the backfield, Boom Herron. You're right there. You need to stop, though, and this is why I always talk about getting the football to start the second half right here. Patriots get the football, and they won the toss, And I love Bill Belichick because he always defers. There's never a situation where getting the football. And I hear people talk about, well, if you got an explosive offense, you should take the football first. Why? I mean, the Patriots got an explosive offense. They can score points with the best of them. Hell, they scored the most points in championship weekend. You know, they've been scoring points all postseason long. Scored 31 last week, 38 last week, 34, something like that last week. Scored another 45 this week. They score points. Why not take the ball first? Because it doesn't make any sense. And so you get the ball after the half. You're up 17-7. This could be a huge drive, and that's exactly what it was. Patriots start the second half with a 9-play, 87-yard touchdown statement drive, capping off the drive with a 16-yard tackle-eligible Nate Solder touchdown. I love when the big nasties get involved and get a touchdown. There's nothing more rewarding than to see an offensive lineman get in the end zone. And it's cute when it's something like this. 16 yards? You know how long that is for a lineman to have to run with the football in his hands? I love to see linemen rewarded for what they do. They don't get enough credit as it is. When they get in the end zone, did you see the jubilation from his other lineman teammates running up to him, tackling him in the end zone and jumping on him? It was great to see. I love seeing linemen get involved in the offense and get their hands on the football, man. Especially when it results in a touchdown. Patriots get cute with that too. They're doing some things that no one else is doing in the league. Patriots, again, being innovative. We saw last week against the Ravens where they use a receiver as an ineligible receiver to draw attention to himself. He can't leave the line of scrimmage and have someone else actually go on the route. Patriots are just doing things that no one else is doing. They're setting the bar. They do it again here. Nate Solder sneaks out into the route, scores a touchdown from 16 yards out. Normally we see things like that from the 1-yard line. Tried doing it from the 16-yard line. Patriots did, and it worked out as a touchdown. It's now 24-7. Patriots add another touchdown with a 5-yard Gronk slant in the end zone to make it 31-7 late in the third quarter. And then just for a little bit of icing on the cake, Darrelle Revis almost has a pick six, puts the Patriots deep in Colts territory with the interception and the return. A couple plays later, Garrett Blount in the end zone for his second touchdown of the game to make it 38-7. At that point, I turned the game off, had better things to do than to watch this assault continue to take place. And even though we had just seen a comeback of epic proportions in the game before, I knew that was not taking place in this game. Very disappointed in the Colts in their performance in this game. Thought they would at least show up and make it competitive for at least 3 quarters. They could not even do that. This game was over midway through the third quarter. Never stood a chance at any point in the fourth. Your final score ends up 45-7. Patriots blitz the Indianapolis Colts. This game was so bad that the only storyline after the game was that the Patriots are being investigated for potentially deflating footballs and making them easier and softer to catch for the receivers throughout the course of the game. Look, whatever it is, I honestly don't care. The fact that they were 38 points better than the Indianapolis Colts speaks volumes to the fact that A, the Patriots were the best team in the AFC. B, the Colts aren't ready for primetime football against a team the caliber of the Patriots. And C, the AFC conference is still behind the NFC. And that is a fact. We saw the 2 best teams in the NFC meet in the AFC Championship game. Too bad we could not say the same. And you know what's funny? I'll say this and then I'll wrap this up. I was talking to my man, Ofo. I was talking to my man, Ofo. He's a huge Patriots fan. And he says to me, the AFC Championship game, and he didn't say this, but he basically said this. He said, the winner of this game, Patriots, Ravens, going to the Super Bowl for the AFC. And in effect, that game was the AFC Championship game. Almost like how last year the NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl. Everyone has said, look, Seattle, San Francisco, 2 best teams in the league. This is in effect the Super Bowl because whoever wins this game is going to win against whomever comes out of the AFC. That rang true last year, and Ofo's prediction of Ravens Patriots being essentially the AFC Championship game rang true here, as those were probably the 2 best teams in the AFC. I think that you want to throw Denver in there, knock yourself out, but we saw Denver be exposed. I think the 2 best teams in the AFC might have been Ravens and Patriots. At least we got to see them lock horns, and that was a very good football game indeed. Can't say the same for this AFC championship game, as the Patriots make it known that they feel like they are the best team in the league with a 45-7 victory. Seahawks will have a lot to say about that in a couple of weeks in Arizona in Super Bowl 49. That should be a lot of fun. We'll have plenty of time to discuss that game as the Patriots move on. If you're the Colts, this was a very gratifying season. You didn't win the Lombardi, which is disappointing, but you took another step. You know, one year it's just winning, which was last year, getting out of wild card weekend and beating Kansas City. Weren't able to get past the divisional round. This year you take another step. You win in the wild card weekend, you win in the divisional round on the road. Now you've tasted championship weekend. You know what it feels like, you know what it's about. Maybe next year you'll take the next step and win in the AFC championship game and clinch a berth to the Super Bowl. We'll see. But they're taking steps in Indy. This was a huge one this year. You just weren't ready for the show quite yet. That's going to do it for Patriots Colts. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we covered it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down everything and anything National Football League related here on the program. And again, if you're a Patriots fan, celebrate, but know that this is nothing new for you. Brady's going to his 6th Super Bowl. Now he's looking to become one of 3 quarterbacks who have won it 4 times. He's got a really good shot. This is a good Patriots football team. There's a lot to discuss, and we'll break it all down as we've got a whole week to just kind of let this game simmer, and we'll come back and break it down the week of the Super Bowl itself. Patriots fan, celebrate! You are going to Super Bowl 49. I'll see you later on in the week. We've got a lot of things to discuss, including a lot of coaches changing teams. We'll talk about it this week. See you in a bit.